So, on this What's It About Walkabout, we're going to be talking about our tutorial in week 11. So I'm going to tell you what to do to prepare for it, and what to expect from it, and a little bit about what I'm hoping we're going to learn. Got my coffee. So week 11, our tutorial. This is where I've asked you to do a little bit of work to look at that transcript on body art. And what I'd like us to do is, when we come together in week 11 during the tutorial, is for you to share your analysis. So during weeks 9, week 10, we were doing the analysis. I was taking you through that process of thematic analysis. And if you remember, I asked you to do some work yourselves, to get your hands dirty, to use that focus group transcript on body art and start doing the analysis, start doing the coding, start coming up with preliminary themes. And I was hoping that by the end of week 10 you would have started to get some themes with some nice sexy names. Sexy? Maybe sexy is not the word. Catchy, exciting, names that grab your attention, you know, that bit where you're finishing off the themes. So for week 11, that's where I want us to come together and share our analysis, see what sort of themes we've come up with. And if you do that, I think it could be a really interesting tutorial, because I'm anticipating some people might come up with similar themes, but other people might come up with things that are a bit different, you know? A bit unusual. Something that someone else hasn't come up with. So it might be interesting to see how we may have come up with different results from our analysis. So we come together, we've got different results. Oh my God! Disaster, eh? Now, this is where we're going to have to make sure we're going to have to get rid of our quantitative positivist heads. We're going to throw that head, that hat, those shackles away, and we've got to stick with the qualitative paradigm. Remember, there's that danger that in quantitative work that you get so used to hypothesis testing and searching for truth rather than meaning, but looking for truth, that if we have two people who have looked at the same transcript but come up with different results, their analysis has come up with different themes, we're going to be tempted to think, oh God, who's right, who's wrong? You know, and you might actually feel worried about coming to the tutorial because your analysis might be wrong. You know, you might have picked the wrong themes. But we've got to get rid of our quantitative head. Instead, when we come together, and if we do have different results from our analysis, we've identified different themes, then that's not a point of worry, but that's a point of interest, because we're searching for meaning and we've come up with different meanings from the same transcript. That's a horror story for quantitative, but it's a sweet story for us. We hit the sweet spot in qualitative, because then it invites us bringing in our subjectivity to the analysis, or being transparent about our subjectivity in the analysis. And by this stage, I'm hoping you're getting close to that notion that subjectivity is a good thing for us in qualitative methods. It's the thing that allows us to imbue meaning in our data, to be able to relate to our data, to be able to relate to what participants have told us about, and the way we relate to other people's stories is through connecting in with our own experiences, our own stories. That's how we make meaning, you know? So each of us will have, there'll be similarities between each of us, but there'll be differences between each of us. So we'll have similar life experiences in some regards, like we're all sitting on this unit, for example, so we've got a similarity there. But we're also got very different, probably very different, who knows, but I imagine quite different lived experiences, different life stories. And you're bringing those lived experiences, those life stories in to help you transcribe and analyze the transcription, the focus group interview. So you're using your lived experience to help you make meaning out of the data in front of you. So we would expect each of us to come up with slightly different interpretations because we have lived different lives. But what if we all come up with the same themes and we even call them the same names? The title of our themes are the same. Well, that could suggest a number of things. It could suggest our lived experiences are so close to each other that we have had the same life experiences that we come up with the same analysis. That might be one explanation. That's stretching it a little bit, unless you're identical twins or something. But it opens up another possibility, which is that we were bringing something other than our subjectivity to bear on our interpretation of the data. Maybe we were drawing on common understandings or drawing on the literature to make sense of the data, but not connecting in with our own lived experience. So maybe, maybe something else was going on there. But again, we interrogate that. So if it's our lived experiences informing the analysis, then that's the point at which we need to be reflective upon how we've interpreted the focus group transcript in that particular way based on who we are. Based on our age, our gender, where we grew up, our life experiences and so on. So we can explore that a little bit in our tutorial. If we come up with the same themes in our analysis, then either we're going to have to throw you all in the bin for plagiarizing, or something else is kicking in, that there's some assumptions and stronger narratives that sit above your own lived experiences that are coming into play. That's quite complex, but it might suggest there's an ideological slant to what you're doing, and you only really get sight of that if you are doing analysis on a transcript alongside other researchers. So different researchers are all analyzing the same transcript and then comparing their analysis. So if the analysis is the same across different researchers, then it's begging the question, what has informed that analysis? What else has come in other than individual subjectivity? What is common amongst the researchers that has led the researchers to interpret in the same way? Does that make sense? Anyway, we can explore that issue a little bit in our tutorial as well. Just realised I didn't have my video light on. I needed to have it on today because it's grey today. Got my little light down there. And also, I'm not wearing glasses, so I can't really properly see what I'm looking at. There's a sort of blurry object in front of me, which I'm presuming is the camera. So I'm not wearing my glasses to avoid that annoying glare of the glasses, and I forget to put the video light on. What a bloody amateur I am. Never mind. Anyway, so that's what I'm hoping we'll do in our week 11 tutorial. Now, if you need a little bit of time to talk about the third assessment that's coming up on the unit, we can certainly do that. The analysis that we're doing in week 11, it's not assessed, it's not directly going to contribute to your assessment, because the assessment, the third assessment, is all about putting together a research proposal. You do have to choose a method of analysis, but you don't actually engage in analysis, So what we're doing at the moment, and what we'll be doing in week 11, which is going through that process of analysis, trying it out for ourselves. You're not going to get assessed on that. So why do it, I suppose? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. One is if you do it, you understand it. You get a level of understanding that you can't really get from just reading about this type of analysis or any type of analysis. It's not like statistics where you just got to throw your numbers into SPSS, click a button, and it kind of churns out your results. I'm not sure if it's quite like that, but in my imagination it is. But the actual process of entering numbers onto a database in a computer is something you've probably already got experience of. And if you do want to have that experience, then you're just going to subject yourself to some mind-numbingly boring administrative work. There's not much you get out of it, really. But because our analysis is all about us processing it ourselves, processing the words, making meaning out of the words, nothing can really replace the act of doing it in terms of understanding what this type of analysis is all about. So it's good for your understanding. It will help, when you come down to name what analysis you're going to put into your research proposal. You know thematic analysis, or you will if you try it out. So it'll give you that level of confidence that thematic analysis might be an appropriate one to choose if you want to put thematic analysis down in your research proposal. You could put discourse analysis, IPA, you can put whatever analysis you want. You have to give a reason for choosing the type of analysis you've chosen. But at least you've got hands-on experience in one form, so if you did want to choose thematic analysis, you've got a bit of confidence. You know what it's like. You know what it's about because you've tried it, you've done it. You know what it can do and what it can't do. Yeah? So it'll kind of help, sort of indirectly help with assignment 3. But also at some point, if you ever turn to doing qualitative analysis, now's the time to learn how to do it. If you put this bit off thinking, well, it's not really being properly assessed, I can get away with not doing it because the assignment's not specifically assessing me on my ability to do the analysis, so I'll put it off for a year or two. You do that, when it comes to actually being involved in a project that uses qualitative methods, that uses something like thematic analysis, you kind of got to go all the way back to the start of the unit, because you've got to kind of get back to the point you're at now, which is understanding how to choose a research topic, develop a research question, develop interview questions from your research question, conduct an interview, and then engage in analysis. You're going to have to remind yourself of all those processes that led you up to being able to do analysis. Okay, so that's it. So I hope to see you in week 11, and that'll be our final meeting. Final formal meeting. So see you then. Ta-da.